Hold on.
Oh, wait, I gotta.
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Nope. But I'm gonna sit. She's got it. All right. Hello, everybody.
On success.
It is August 5th, 2025 at 7 o'clock. It looks like there's, I'm going to call the meeting to order. It looks like there's enough for quorum this evening. There are minutes to be approved. Is this my?
I'd say so.
Oh my goodness. So from the, I was not here, I don't believe. This is from August 5th. Did everybody get a chance to look these over? Is there anything that needs to be corrected, or can we move on and just have them? No. It's not from August 5th because today's the 5th. It is from, I totally meant to say from July 1st.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I would second that.
All in favor? May I have a pen? Thank you. I don't think I was here, was I?
What did I write on it?
I was.
You're here.
I was.
You're here. Sort of remember you here.
Thank you. This is the map.
Yeah, but wait a minute,
July 15 and
Right
July
there.
20.
Selectmen are first on the agenda.
Let's know if to revisit our inspection.
Because at this time, they tell me what the problem is.
When we went to the meeting, thought it was gonna be a
Check.
self-certification, that the ordinance states the fire chief is required to do inspections.
Mhm.
So we'll be fine to revisit this.
How does the board feel?
I thought the way we had it was good.
I mean, once upon a
It
time,
was
both
kind
the
of
code
common.
enforcement and fire chief thought they wanted to, and that's how we did it. And I'm not totally sure that that's what they really wanted when we got all done. So, I guess,
We took it out because it puts a town at liability.
right, you changed some of it.
Went with self-inspection, unless there's a complaint, then we'll go. But
Okay.
put something in there, you put the town at liability for doing this.
And at this time, you're the one that has to go do it.
Yes.
I think that, in my opinion, then it should be a self-check up so that it doesn't have the responsibility of the town. But how does everybody else feel about it?
Sticky's decision, and I agree with.
I guess let's take a little bit of a vote. And who thinks that we should keep it the same? Raise your hand. Who thinks we should change it? Okay, we're gonna change it.
Certainly say people would have to do.
But let me make a motion to have it actually. Would you need something?
I just, time frame wise, that kind of change, I may be able to have time to put it on November referendum
Okay.
as, because would be the only change to the dock.
Mm-hmm.
Is that ordinance would be the inspection requirement. So I have November referendum coming up. Absentee ballots have to be out available for October 2nd.
Okay.
So we have this month and next month to.
I can't imagine that the language in the ordinance would be that difficult to just take out that piece, right? That's why I'm not certain either. We'll double check it during a workshop and get rid of it and have it stated, or we can actually have our friend. Do we want to do it, or do we want to send it to the attorney?
I'm gonna say we should read through it, just because every time we just send them something, we never quite know what's gonna come back until it's usually later than we want it to be.
So let's put it on
Let's
our
do
next
our first
workshop.
workshop and let's read through it and see if we can find piece, because we hate to change one piece and not actually fix it.
Okay.
We
So-
should fix it.
I'd like-
Like,
Planning boards. Informational and public hearing for that. What?
Yep.
Because I've got an article for the $16,000 additional for the buy-in on public safety building grant. Now we're doing the research for a ballot question for town meeting coming referendum voting. That will be on there, the purchase of the truck, or the truck, or whatever, can come to that. So I'm going to do the informational, so I would take that on as well.
Okay.
The informational, I would just ask that when it comes to SDR, to have at least 2 planning board members present. Or any other questions. I mean, I can answer the question for the self-certification, that's fine. But if they go any deeper into that document.
Sure. And you need that document back by October 1st, you said?
No, I think they have the verbiage put together. So that I can do the information, do the public hearing, have the absentee ballots available for October 6th.
Okay, so you need it
September first.
probably September 1st. Yeah, which we can totally make that happen,
First week of September.
right?
Yeah, I think we decided on a meeting September.
We talked, we had pulled the trigger on that one. We
Over.
talked about the first Tuesday is the Tuesday after Labor Day, and did we want to wait a week depending on who's available, but we figured we'd talk about that tonight.
Yeah.
But if we have to have, if there's enough of us here to just vote on moving that and make that the only agenda item, I think we can probably do it. So we should get it done by that week anyway, and then we can.
Well, let's make a motion that we are going to be changing the document to state that that it would be a self-inspection rather than have it be the fire department's responsibility. Can somebody make that motion?
I make the motion that we revise the SCR ordinance.
Seconded by,
Second.
all in favor? Cool beans. Did you have anything else? I don't think so. Maybe by the
We did
end of the
actually
meeting.
want to have a conversation just on zoning stuff. I think as we've sort of, what we got from Southern Maine Regional, depends on which one of us you talk to. Is we were hoping for something almost done, and instead we have something just started. But we have a map. And we have a 1, maybe page and a half definition of what those zones mean. And I think what we would like to do is to do some sort of informational stuff on that and make sure that that's where we want to go before we spend time handing out pieces and parts and verbiage. But trying to think about how we do that as far as public hearings, publishing stuff and saying, here, look at this and tell us what you don't like about it before we waste a whole lot of time figuring out definitions. And you guys take a look at it too, because, you hear stuff we don't. And again, I think it's the map and those simple definitions are a pretty good starting spot, but it's not the end, like there's some vague pieces there on purpose. What is light commercial, we still have to figure that out, but, that would be what we would like to do, a couple of just, some sort of put it out in front of the public and say, give us some comments somehow. And, before we spend a lot of time dealing with what you can and can't do in each one of them, let's make sure that.
Did you want me to give this to him?
Yeah.
What's the one where I want the informational?
We'd like to post the map.
I gave him one and it's up
In here.
there.
So you gave the selectman one already?
Yeah.
You were given a copy of this?
We just gave it a thing for
With a comment. Do have electronic version. Yeah,
We have the electronic version.
put it on the website too.
Get good Patty, and we'll get it out there.
Yeah, just needs to be, heavily marked, draft. Because again, we're not saying it's the end, it's gotta start someplace, and that's all we've gotten to at this point. I mean, there's a lot of verbiage, a lot of which we don't think ought to be there, but before we spend hours and hours and hours on it, let's make sure we're at least in the right direction.
Should those definitions be attached to that map?
That's up to the planning board. I just.
Yeah, I mean, I just set it down, that page. Best way to display that here, so that people come in and want to look. Stuff out front. We've got copies, Pam's got copies.
My recommendation would just be, this is separate document. Not page number 47.
Yeah, well, we could, yeah, probably should put it on the,
Edit it
on
out.
the,
Edit it
on the
out.
webpage without the page number on it. 'Cause it was in the
And,
middle.
you know, Article 5, yeah, this is not the middle of something.
Yeah, so
Cross out.
before we put the definitions, can we, cut? Let me, find a pen here. We can make a couple of things.
Take out Article 5, take out 5.1, take out 5.2, take out 5. All the numbers.
Yeah,
And page number.
yeah, I
So
mean,
it's
just,
not-
just so it
Where's
doesn't
page
look,
46,
I mean,
which is not relevant, but
yeah, because
questions, yeah.
you know. I mean,
You send her what you want.
yeah.
Okay, and you'll have it set. Can you do that, Pam?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because, you know, again, we don't need to spend a million hours on something that. Spend a million hours on.
These are just notes from workshops that just need to be signed. We don't need to go over that.
I think that was all we had, unless anybody, I had. Unless anybody else has selectmen questions for Rick while he's here.
Was there anything about subdivision that we needed to bring up to the select board?
Well,
Did
you
you
might
get-
want to bring that up to him.
Okay, and this is this?
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's the Brownfield Fire Department having the name changed, put into the subdivision.
Okay.
Appendix A.
So this came from Ben McCall. The town subdivision regulations may be amended by a majority vote of the planning board, but that vote must be preceded by a public hearing notice of which is posted at least 7 days in advance. No town meeting approval is necessary for the amendments to the subdivision regulations. Just keep in mind that the same is not true for the land use ordinance. And I probably should have started with the email began, which was the email that we sent him rather was, good morning, Ben. The fire department has changed its name from Brownfield Volunteer Fire Company to Brownfield Fire Department in the subdivision appendix. Does the planning board need to treat this as a revision to the ordinance, or can it be changed without a vote at town meeting? Thank you. So he answered that. So we need to
So the subdivision doesn't require town vote, but the land use ordinance does.
correct.
Okay, so
Okay, perfect.
We just need to scrub the
Do what?
land use to see if there's any mention of the fire department that needs to be updated in the land use.
To have the amendment of the name change.
Right, so planning board just has to have a public hearing. And
Correct.
then change it in the regulations.
In,
Or-
in the subdivision regulations.
Right.
Yes,
And
but if we gotta change it in the land use, we should try to tag it on to November. That one's gonna be probably not a 2-hour discussion. Yeah,
They're looking at just putting it in November as well.
this here?
Yes.
no,
So-
so land use.
yeah, but
Oh, no.
What I just took from this was, it's a majority vote of your board for the subdivision to change, but the land use ordinance itself has to go to a town vote for that revision, that name change.
But is that verbiage in the land use ordinance?
we should look and make sure it is or not. That
So
should be what we do.
We can do the subdivision regulated guideline.
I didn't think it was.
Can you double check that before, why vote on something we're not even certain of?
Yeah, you can't vote on it now anyhow, but you can have a set up right over.
Okay,
It's
We'll have
because
to
the
look into it.
subdivision is a regulation. He's just saying, just because you can do the subdivision. Doesn't mean you can do an ordinance. This is the way I took. it.
yeah, that's how I would read it too.
Ordinance.
Amended by majority vote.
So do we want to make a motion now to have a public hearing at our next meeting? To get that out of the way?
Yeah, we can.
Which would be possibly early September.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get that down so we don't.
If you want to make a motion, go ahead.
Stupid.
Motion that we have a public hearing during our next scheduled planning board meeting.
September 2nd. At 7:15. That's what you meant to say.
Yes.
Seconded by. All in favor? There you go. The next thing on the,
Is he direct for anything else?
I don't know, so I honestly don't even know what's here. You're good? Okay.
Oh, no,
no,
that's Klinger.
okay. So, please take Klinger application off the planning board agenda and put it on hold the application at this time. This was from Ruby, so just know that we are not worrying about that subdivision at this time. They retracted, is that what that's what on this? Next thing, this is mail from Jamal. It looks like we first sent an email. It says God morning, but I'm pretty certain that she meant
Get
to
out
say
of here.
good morning, but God is good. Good morning, Jamal. I have attached page 47, which was the definitions that we were talking about earlier. Looking at 5.1C, members of the planning board are asking for a definition of compact commercial. They did not see one in the definitions. We have a large residential population in the village district that may ask that question. His response was, regarding your question about defining compact commercial, I think that the last part of the sentence is important context-wise, typically associated with village centers. This helps to identify the character of development that the zoning language is seeking for the village district. I would also point to section 6.3, dimensional requirements on page 57. As the table indicates, the required minimum lot size for village district, 20,000 square feet, which is quite a bit smaller than the other proposed zoning districts.
I mean, even as vague as this is, people are gonna have questions, but I think part of that is for us to define as we go through it.
Didn't catch it.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It's for answering the question.
Thanks.
Well, what was it the lawyer told you, Joe, when you asked about what was really a home occupation versus what was a business, where you kind of know it when you see it?
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of these sort of fall into that category of like, we could all sit down and make a list of 500 things and we'd still miss 30, each one of us, so,
Yeah, that's a
I
lot.
think that's as good an answer
I
as you
gave
can get.
everybody the 1829. It's fortunate.
So you want me to bring this up?
Well, if you're gonna use words, you should have a definition for the word. If you're gonna use the word compact, then it should mean compact, not some vague.
You can assume.
Reference to some other thing.
It's either compact, which is small, open up Webster, you look at it. If that's not the definition he wants to use, then it should be taken out. Definitions are very vague, and his answer to his definition is even bigger, in my opinion.
And maybe wrong.
Yeah, it's not helpful.
So the next thing here on in my little pack of papers is referring to the housing action alert and budget update. Does anybody have anything they want to add to that?
Do we have any idea, Joe, how long until we have to enact whatever to fit in with whatever the new state stuff they're throwing at us is?
It is either July 2026 or I think it's 2027.
Okay. So,
But it'd be good to drop Ben a line and say,
yeah,
because it's a done deal.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
it is, okay.
Looks like it'll come into effect in 2027. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah,
That sounds right.
and if the town is larger, or if it has a charter, then it has to be 2026.
Well,
It says requires us to amend the subdivision ordinance to reflect the new requirements by July 1st, 2026 for the town council committees and July 1st, 2027 for town meeting communities, which includes removing any planning board review for 5 or more dwelling units before triggering subdivision standards, and requires us to have adopted ordinances that require owner occupancy for accessory dwelling units to remove this requirement, even if it's a condition of short-term rental ordinance.
So there's a question. These have defined themselves as like charter towns and town meeting towns. If we go to a referendum, does that, okay,
Still not a charter.
okay, I mean, yes, but, yeah, okay, we still can
Basically,
slide into that. Which is good, because we don't need to have to rush for dumb stuff because of that, okay.
And then, I'm sorry, I heard somebody mention asking Ben a question. Who was that and what was it in regards to?
As far as what the wording should be, you know, he did it last time. For LD 2000.
Yeah, now this, what is this being called?
LD 919, 29, 997, and 427.
Get that? So,
All the copies are in your folders.
okay,
Yeah,
I'll
can
put it there.
you, give Ben well, let's make a motion that we get, that we can
Yeah,
contact Ben to answer that question, or rather, have him have some verbiage for that.
Whatever he needs to do to make us compliant.
I make a motion that we ask Ben to give us the wording for those 3 statute changes.
Perfect. Seconded by, all in favor. Awesome.
And I think the other thing with that too is that trying to be optimistic, we should have something done with zoning before then. So since it has to be by July 2027, probably just roll it in rather than have a special meeting or
Yeah.
anything else to do.
That would
Well,
be
who
great.
knows what the state will have changed their mind on before
True.
then.
Yeah.
Is there any thing saying that the state will give us some money to cover our costs on this one?
I didn't see that any place, but they are having 3 video conference calls.
Okay,
Where they'll probably,
listening.
they are listening sessions. Thank you.
So those are August 13th, 15th, and 19th. If anybody is interested, we can certainly provide the link on how you could attend all 3 of those
So they will be a recorded Zoom link, which you could watch.
for later.
And it looks like they're telling it a listening session, doesn't act like you're gonna ask a lot of questions, so it may not make a lot of sense to do it live.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
You know what? I was planning on doing the first one, so I'll report back to you, and if it's more
LD,
involved than that, more people.
LD 1829, we'll have to remember that. All right,
What is the LD?
so are these minutes from, what is that?
Document.
So, looks like Doug, you may want to discuss, public safety building.
I just wanted to touch base.
Okay,
You all know we're building a public safety building,
yep,
just how and when, and if planning board needs to get involved in any way.
mhm.
We have to do anything with you when we build this building.
I don't know.
Not in shoreland, right? So.
I don't think so.
No,
I
it's not
think,
true.
I think that at this point, I'm not certain how does that work when it is something that the town is building. Do you still go to the code enforcement officers or?
Yeah.
But as far as
We-
planning board, I don't think it has anything
Well,
to do
we
with us.
might.
We don't have,
But-
why would we, not that we don't care, but what,
The only thing would be is if you needed a
Business.
variance, we'd have to like deny something so it could go to Board of Appeals, but
I just
I
want to
don't
make
know
sure,
that you need. one
bring it up in
particular.
because we have enough headaches.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully not that in planning board.
I don't, I can't imagine that you would have to come, that you'd have to come in front of the planning
Just,
board.
that's all,
I'm trying to think
I
of
just wanted to throw it out there
any
now,
circumstance
instead
that
of
you would
waiting.
have to,
shovel on the ground.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
We'll take
why-
pictures of when you do that.
it's not a commercial enterprise. I wouldn't think that we need a permit for that. You know, unless
Get the
the fire
project.
department starts making a lot more money than I think it does.
We'll certainly get the CEO involved.
Yeah, that's a whole different
I
follow up.
just wanted to make sure there was any things we should put in our list of things to do.
I don't think so,
Okay, great.
unless you come across something that you think that needs to come to the board, but I can't imagine what that would be. Next year, there's money from the LD 2003 compliance will be going to the reserve account for the planning board in the amount of $3,159.78. The planning board can use this for anything they choose to.
And a lawyer for the next time we have to do the same thing.
Yes, sir. Revise Appendix A in the subdivision regulations to Brownfield. We already talked about that. And you have the verbiage here, so we will go over that in a workshop next time we meet. Looks like we have a bill for a total of $58 for the right stuff. And it looks like we have, those are for 2 maps that were purchased. I would like a motion to pay for this.
Motion that we pay for now.
Second.
All in favor? This is the time it is.
Can I go backwards for a second?
Yes.
So on the public safety bill. Would it behoove the board to think about it if there's any way that we think that the planning board shall or shall not need to be involved, and then possibly draft a letter stating that no planning board involvement shall be required due to this, but just to clear.
I disagree, but it's not.
I think it, I also kind of think it's open that if there was a situation, and I'm not certain what that situation would be,
Yeah.
to keep it open just in case. I think to say as a discussion in front of the board now doesn't seem to be something we'll have to worry about, but I would hate to close the door just in case something funky comes up. I can't imagine what that would be, but one thing I've learned is to never shut a door.
Well, once it goes to Mike, if Mike has a concern, he'll come to us.
Right.
You know,
And I
then
can
we'll
imagine
address
what that looks like or what that is, but I just don't think that we should
Yeah.
do that.
Well,
Just in,
Fair enough.
as we found, there's a variety of things that
And-
we think shouldn't be a problem will suddenly become.
well, I think that is one thing that we have learned.
This project will have no problems.
Oh, I'm sure there will
Thank
be
you.
no problem.
Thank
Okay.
Great.
Before I adjourn,
That go in the minutes?
I would like to set up some dates for some future meetings. What is today? Today is the 5th. How about we have a workshop on the 12th and the 26th and have a regular scheduled meeting for, I believe we already mentioned this earlier, for September 2nd.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to do so?
We set those dates as our workshops and next meeting.
Second.
All in favor? I'd like a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And you said September 15th?
No.
No, I did not.
12, that's gone. 26.
I said the 12th, the 26th of August,
Okay.
and September 2nd as a regular scheduled meeting.
26th is a workshop, right?
Yes, 12th and 26th workshops.
Well, hopefully we can bang out any changes we need to make sure to rental the 12th, not even 26th, but you never know.
There was a
All right.
motion on
There's
the
a motion
There's
on
a
the
motion
table
on the
to
table.
adjourn. All in favor? Good job, everyone.
That's the
Thank you.
subject.
Thank you.
Hey, folks, appreciate your time.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
You know,
Sit here.
what is? Good night, all.
You too.